Hi everybody. In this video, I'm going to talk about a way that I make some extra money so I could take that money and invest it into stocks and options. But before we get into this video, let's take a short moment to appreciate my haircut. My hair has gotten very long recently, so I got a haircut today to take some hair off the sides. Can you guys see the difference? So, let's get into this video. Alright, Eunice says, "What do you do for a living, if you don't mind me asking? Congratulations." Leo says, "How'd you get your initial capital? Just curious." And Brian here says, "Bro, what's your day job?" So as you can see, a lot of people have been asking me about the same topic, and I want to make this video so that I can address the topic of how I make my money and how I make money in the first place to invest, because that's very important. In order for me to make money and make gains and returns from my investments, well, I have to have money to invest in the first place, right? So this is a pretty important topic. Let's get into this. So as you can see here, this is me. I've got a face mask and a vest on. I'm in my car. These are packages from Amazon that I'm delivering. Here's another picture. That's me again. I'm in my car, and these are Amazon packages that I'm delivering. Here's me again. I've got my SpongeBob hat on. I've got my face mask. Here's a bunch of packages inside my car that I'm delivering. I've got my Amazon safety vest on. I actually have it on right now for this video. Look at that. Isn't this stylish? Official Amazon safety vest. And also, I have a face mask, an official Amazon face mask. You can see the logo right here. So yeah, that's what I wear when I'm delivering packages. So, being a delivery driver, what is it? Well, it's exactly how it sounds. You're driving around and you're delivering things, whether it be people, packages, food, etc. Some examples of delivery driving jobs are Amazon Flex, Uber, Uber Eats, Lyft, DoorDash, Grubhub, Postmates, Shipt, Instacart, etc. There's a lot of different delivery driving apps out there that you can make money from on the side. There's even some very niche delivery services around my area, like Fan Delivery, Happy Panda, things like that. There's a lot of them. I feel like the gig economy has exploded in the recent years, and there's just a ton of people doing these type of delivery driving jobs. So this is a very important topic. How much money can you make from doing these delivery driving jobs, right? So here's one example. Sunday, June 7th, from 12:30 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. That's 2 hours. My base pay was $37, and my tips were $59, for a total of $96. I also got an excess block adjustment for $9.25. So that's over $100 for only 2 hours of work. That's really good money, especially as a side job. Another example, Sunday, May 31st, 4:30 a.m. to 6:30 a.m. Again, that's 2 hours of work. The base pay was $37 and the tips was $47, for a total of $84. $84 for 2 hours of work? That's some pretty good money, especially when we're talking about a gig job where you're delivering packages. So, how much money can you make? Well, it depends a lot on the tips. As you can see here from this shift, most of the money that I made came from the tips. And even in this example, again, most of the money that I made for those 2 hours of work, it came from the tips, not the base pay. So it really depends on how well your customers are tipping you. On the high end, I make around $50 an hour, and on the low end, I make around $20 an hour. That's a pretty wide range, $20 to $50 an hour. So if most of the money is coming from tips, well, how do you get those tips? So people who order things from Amazon, they want their packages ASAP. They want it as soon as possible. When they look at their status and it says out for delivery, they are like waiting by the window or even outside. There have been times where I'm walking up to the house or apartment that I'm delivering to with the packages in my hand, and the customer is already outside staring at me, waiting for their packages. It's crazy, but yeah, that's how customers are. They want whatever they ordered to come as quickly as possible. So you, as the delivery driver, have to make a lot of effort into delivering all their packages as quickly as possible. And if it goes there early, well, they'll be happy about that and they might tip you. However, if you're very slow and you deliver these packages late, the customers will not be happy about that and they'll be angry and they probably won't tip you as well. So yeah, that's how you get your tips, by just putting a lot of effort and working really hard and fast to deliver these packages really early, or at least on time. So what are the pros of being a delivery driver? So potentially there's good pay. As we saw from the previous slide, on the higher end, you're making $50 an hour. That's pretty high in my opinion. So it does depend on tips, but if you do your job very well and very quickly and deliver these packages really quickly to the customers and they tip you well, that's potentially very good pay. Another reason that delivery driving is good is it's a flexible schedule. So if you want to take time off work, you would have to ask your boss. But when you're delivering packages, let's say that you just want to take 2 weeks off work. You can do that and you don't have to talk to anybody. You just simply, just not work. If you do want to do the work, you can try and get the blocks and deliver the packages. But if you don't feel like delivering packages, well, you don't have to. You could simply just not do it. And there have been times in the past where I took almost a year off of delivering packages because I just simply didn't feel like it or I didn't have the time. And once that year was over and I felt like delivering packages again, well, I just continued like nothing even happened. I didn't have to ask anyone if I could take the time off. I simply decided on my own whether I wanted to work or not. And that's a huge advantage over having a job where you are required to work all the time. Another pro is freedom. And what I mean by this is that you can get in your car, turn on your own music, turn on the air conditioner, work at your own pace. You decide how you want to organize the packages in your car. You have a lot of decision making and control over how you do your job. So that's one of the pros of delivering packages. Now, another pro is you get to visit cool places. Sometimes when you're delivering packages, I've delivered to places where I would not be able to afford it even if I lived 10 lifetimes. There's this one mansion. I had to drive through a gate, drive some more, and then I had to go through another gate before I could finally arrive at the huge mansion. There were Lamborghinis and Ferraris parked in the front. The door to get inside the house was huge. There was like a fountain. In order to get to the door, there was like these steps, and each of them were like tiny little waterfalls that light up. I mean, it was crazy, all right? Sometimes you do go to these crazy places. And I've also delivered to an actual castle before. I thought castles were a thing of the past and nobody lived in them anymore. Well, I was wrong. This one time I delivered to a castle and there was these huge towers and you go inside and there's like a huge garden in the middle. I mean, it was crazy. It was like a literal actual castle that like kings and queens lived in, It was amazing. So yeah, that's another pro of being a delivery driver. Sometimes you do deliver to these really awesome places. Now let's talk about the cons. So first off, you have to have the right car for the job. What I mean by that is, well, you have packages to deliver, right? And you need a car big enough to fit all these packages in. If you're driving with a very small car, you're going to have a very tough time finding space to put all these packages. But if you drive something like an SUV or a van, you're going to have an easier time because you have more space to put all these packages inside of your car. You also have to pay for your own gas. Now, if you're driving a car that has horrible miles per gallon, it's a gas guzzler, well, you have to pay more for the gas when you're driving. Me personally, I drive a Prius. If you drive a Prius or a Tesla, something that has very good gas efficiency, well, you're going to end up paying less. So on average, I've noticed that I drive around at least 40 miles each time I do a delivery driving shift. So it's around that area, 40 at least. Now, another con is that you need to have a good phone with a good battery. So I used to have a really old phone that was old and slow, and that was very frustrating because these apps sometimes you need to stay up to date, and it needs to update in real time where you're at and what stop you're at and whether you deliver these packages on time or not. And if your phone is very slow and slow to update, it's very frustrating. And you also need to have a good battery life. So when you're delivering packages for hours, especially when you're doing multiple shifts, one after the other, you need to make sure you have a good battery life so that your phone actually lasts throughout these shifts. And apps like Amazon Flex, they drain your battery very quickly. I've noticed that a lot of drivers, they have portable power banks that they connect to their phone so that their phone has enough battery life to last them throughout their shifts. Another con is heavy packages. If you get lucky, you're going to get light packages that are easy to handle and deliver. But sometimes people do order things that are very big and heavy. I remember one time I had to deliver, I think it was like parts for a backyard pool or something. But yeah, sometimes people do order big, heavy things, and delivery drivers need to deliver them. So when you get heavy packages, it can be very physically demanding if you have to carry these heavy packages, especially up the stairs or to really big apartment complexes. I mean, sometimes you do have heavy, big packages to deliver, and that can be very physically demanding on the body. Next up, apartment buildings. Oh my goodness, apartments can be super frustrating because sometimes I go to deliver to an apartment complex and there's a gate code that I need to get inside the building. However, sometimes the customer does not provide the gate code, so I'm left there stuck because I need to deliver these packages, but I can't deliver them because I can't get inside because I don't have the gate code. Super frustrating. Another reason apartments can be frustrating is that they can be labyrinths or mazes. There was one time I had to deliver packages, and this apartment complex had like 20 different buildings, and each building had like 200 different apartment numbers. It was very confusing. So yeah, sometimes apartment buildings can be very confusing and frustrating to deliver to. Another con is delivering in the dark at night. So in order for me to deliver packages to the correct address, well, I need to be able to see the correct address. And if I'm delivering late at night, it can be very dark and difficult to see the correct numbers and correct address I'm delivering to. So that can be very difficult as well, delivering at night. Another con is delivering to sketchy places. Just like in the previous slide where I said sometimes you deliver to really cool, awesome places, you don't always have control over where you deliver. So sometimes you have to deliver to not so great places as well. There have been some times where I felt really unsafe. There are situations where I just didn't feel comfortable delivering that area, you know? That's just sometimes what you need to deliver to. You don't have full control over the areas that you're delivering in. So that's a con. Sometimes you get rude customers as well. There have been these videos where drivers post customers blocking them from exiting the building or blocking their car from leaving because these customers are, I don't know, they're mad at the drivers or they are suspicious of them, so they prevent them from leaving. And sometimes customers get really angry and they yell at you. I mean, most of the time, the customers are okay, or they're not even there when I'm delivering them. However, there are rude customers out there and they can be very difficult to handle. So that's another con. And lastly, inconsistent and unstable income. Yes, when you do the work per hour, you're getting some good pay. However, in a 9-to-5 job, you're getting very stable scheduling. 40 hours a week, 9 to 5, very stable schedule, right? But for gig work, delivering packages, it's first come, first serve. And sometimes there's just not enough work to go around. There are times during the year, like Christmas, where there's plenty of work for people to do, right? So that's easy. But there are other times during the year where work is slow. And if there's a whole bunch of delivery drivers looking for work to do, but there's not enough work to go around, you're going to have to fight over you're going to have to fight with all these other drivers trying to do the work, and you have to do the work too, but there's not enough work yet. It's first come, first serve. You have to fight over it. And if all these other drivers get the work before you, well, you're left with nothing. So that's why it can be very unstable sometimes to make money from doing delivery jobs. So in conclusion, being a delivery driver is one way that I make extra income for investing. There's pros and cons, but personally, I feel like the work is worth the money. So yes, there's a lot of hoops you have to jump through sometimes in order to get the work done, and you have to make a really huge effort in order to deliver these packages as soon as possible to the customer in order to get your tips and in order for you to get your money's worth from the work that you're doing, right? But at the end of the day, if you do your work correctly and the customers tip you very well, the work is worth the money in my opinion. So yeah, I hope this video was helpful and explained one of the ways where I made money so that I could have money to invest and make gains and returns. All right, if you guys have any more topics that you guys want me to talk about, just let me know in the comments, and if I can help, then I'll try to help out. All right, thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.